Here's what's happening now. We finally got the rain out of here. Now we're going to start worrying about fog tonight. We'll look at that coming up. Paula.
Hi, Ben. The National Weather Service issued a flood warning for one city long before the alert even went out, Kimberly.
Now officially charged with a Warren woman's murder. I'm Kimberly Gill. Those stories and more right now on First at 4.
Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
Local 4 is following breaking news from Lenox Township in Macomb County. That's where sheriff's deputies are investigating the death of a woman. The body of a 39-year-old woman was found in the driver's seat of a car in a yard on Frost Road. That's between 27 and 28 Mile Roads. The woman is reported to be a friend of the homeowner. Deputies are looking for the woman's boyfriend right now. We'll have a live update on this breaking news story coming up on Local 4 News at 5 o'clock. Ben is here right now with a full look at the forecast. It was a pretty rough morning. A lot of flooding, which you said it probably would, but it still doesn't make it any easier.
No, it was tough going this morning, and a lot of folks got slowed down, delayed going into work. Tomorrow morning's commute may have some headaches too, but it's not going to be from the rain. It could be some fog issues that we'll discuss coming up. Right now, let's look at the rain totals that we picked up. The top 5, the good news is we're all under 3 inches. The bad news, some of them were awfully close to that mark. Inside the city of Detroit, over 2 3/4 of an inch. That was at City Airport. Ann Arbor picked up 2.5. And we got a lot of numbers outside of or above 2 inches from that rain that we saw starting just before midnight and wrapping up just after sunrise this morning. So we've got the clouds that are out there, 79 temperature, heat index is at 81. We've got plenty of moisture down near the surface, but at least the clouds have stopped leaking for the time being, and that should be the case until we look at our next chance of showers and storms, which will be tomorrow afternoon. You can start to see some clearing back here to the west. We will get that in here tonight. There's some showers that have been developing in the western side of the state. I don't think that that's going to have an impact on us. That should stay out there to the west, but we will see drier conditions going into tomorrow morning, and then those clouds start to clear out. Temperatures drop a little bit, and with all that moisture near the surface, we'll start watching fog developing as we head towards tomorrow morning. So just like last commute, probably want to give yourself a little bit of extra time heading out the door in the morning. Then we'll get a wave in the afternoon. This will be scattered showers and storms. Shouldn't be a lot of moisture with this, probably 1/4 of an inch max. Not expecting anything strong or severe. And then as that wave rolls through, that's going to be the end of the widespread rain until we get into the upcoming weekend. So overnight tonight, temperatures are going to be slightly cooler, and there will be those areas of fog developing, 67 for the overnight low. Let's look at tomorrow's temperatures in your 4-zone forecast, and we will start to obviously notice those warmer numbers plus the humidity. So even though the thermometer is going to say mid-80s across our metro zone, like 84 down in Trenton, Troy at 84. It's probably going to feel more like the upper 80s in some spots. Not much different in our southern zone, low to mid 80s across the board here in Lenawee, Monroe County, southern parts of Washtenaw and Wayne. And then our western zone, there could be some of those showers developing earlier here that could impact those temperatures around Fenton, Flint, and also down into Howell. And then warmer temperatures as you get down towards US 12, 84 in Canton and Ann Arbor. North of M59 in our north zone, again, warmer numbers here to the south, slightly cooler numbers north, and also cooler to the lakeshore. 78 out in Lexington, Marlette 78 tomorrow afternoon. So numbers are going to continue to rise as we get into the upcoming weekend. We'll be into the upper 80s by Friday. That's going to be our warmest temperature, but it's going to feel close to 90 with those higher levels of humidity here for the second half of the week. A couple chances of thunderstorms late Saturday going into Sunday, and then we'll see some cooler and drier conditions as we head into early next week. Don't forget to stay up to date on your 4-zone forecasts. Go check out our weather page at clickondetroit.com. Find your zone in your 4-zone forecast, and we'll have an update for you coming up at 5, Kim.
Okay, we'll be looking forward to it, Ben. Thank you. Well, along with the roads and basements, last night's rain is proving to be too much for a river in Metro Detroit. We're talking about the Clinton River. Our Paula Tubman is live in Sterling Heights with what's being done to stop the rising water from causing too many problems. Paula?
Yeah, hey guys, first of all, take a look at this. So this is the Clinton River. You can see these geese just plopped down right here for a nice swim. Here's the good news. The water is not rising anymore. Although I can tell you that this pathway suddenly got covered, we do know that water is not rising anymore. Hey guys, I'm walking across the bridge. Joining me? All right, thanks. Come on across. Hey, listen, here's the okay news, and that is the water's not going down. Here is the bad news. This is still not very safe, and city leaders really want everybody to really be concerned and take this seriously, especially kids like this. You guys being safe. Where are your helmets? Get your helmets. The National Weather Service put the alarm out at 9 a.m. Clinton River at 16 feet and above flood stage and rising for Sterling Heights and Clinton Township. But the city of Sterling Heights had been watching the rising waters for as many as 5 hours prior to the alert.
So we have a couple pumps throughout the city, and we also have some back at the shop to where if we're notified of an alarming event somewhere, we can get the pumps out there within 5 minutes to get the water down.
That's a lot of water.
Jeff Wise looked out of his condo window at 5 and realized he was lakefront property all of a sudden, and not the good lakefront. Really not supposed to be lakefront.
No, not at all.
This is Mother Nature made temporary lakefront.
Yeah, where you see the kind of like the tall kind of stuff, that's where it used to be, just a little thin bit of water. And now it's like here and there and way over there.
The river has crested its banks. It's moving fast and deep. And all of the tributaries it's feeding have become the escape route. And all Jeff could do was watch the sky and hope those dark, heavy, billowy clouds keep moving.
I certainly hope we don't get much more rain.
The city of Sterling Heights has a plan in place, spotters at critical banks, making sure the water, though high, doesn't become a nuisance and then a danger.
Or maybe take an evening off, walk inside, walk around the subdivision. Somewhere that might be a bit safer. We don't want to see a flash flood come through and wipe out a section of the trails.
Escape drains in Dodge Park are bubbling.
The water's supposed to run into that and out to the river.
All right.
And what's happening right now is because the river's so high, the water is above the pipe. So now it's pushing the water back up and through this catch basin system. They shouldn't be afraid, but they should stay away, just to be safe.
People who play, walk, relax, and play pokey tourist in many parks and trails here are being asked to be smart.
It rained a lot yesterday. You can obviously see in a lot of areas that the water table is high, so be smart. If you can put your walking schedule one day behind, we would advise you to do so.
Yeah, so here's the thing, guys. Take a look at how fast this water is moving. It is moving. Now, I do need to tell you, flood stage about 16 feet. We're being told the water actually got up to about 12 feet. That's what they believe. But again, this brisk moving water is something to really be concerned about. This park is very, very popular. It's Dodge Park. Lots of people coming through, particularly now that it's a lot cooler. Lots of pokey players. And here's the thing. City leaders really want people to stay clear, particularly when it starts getting dark at night. If you see water on the pathways, avoid it because they don't know whether or not there's going to be any flash flooding. And they're really asking people to just plain be smart. Because if you do go into this drink, somebody's got to go in after you in this drink, and now you're putting more people at risk as well. So respect this fast-moving water. Respect the fact that there's water in places where it's not usually, and you may not expect it, and they're asking you to just be respectful of the weather conditions. Kimberly?
Yeah, and use common sense. It's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, Paula, we appreciate it, and we'll definitely keep up with the progress being made there. Thanks a lot. Well, the afternoon rush hour shouldn't be as difficult for drivers like it was this morning. Many freeways were closed after flooding this morning, including westbound I-696 at Evergreen, northbound I-75 at the Lodge Freeway in downtown Detroit, and the Lodge in both directions under Cobo. Standing water is blocking some individual lanes this afternoon, but no freeways are shut down as of right now, which is great news. The man wanted for the murder of a woman in her Warren apartment appeared in court today after a manhunt that ended this morning in Shelby Township. Anthony Iannotti eluded police since last week's murder of 62-year-old Donna Lawrence in Warren. Well, this morning, he reportedly tried to break into a home in Shelby Township, then ran into a wooded area where police arrested him. Iannotti was out on bond from a domestic violence charge when the murder happened, but in court, they outlined his lengthy previous record.
Well, I want to know who puts him back out on the street. I looked at his record and I was appalled. And I want to speak for all the Shelby Township residents. We don't tolerate that kind of nonsense out here. Violent crime after violent crime. I mean, at what point is somebody going to lock him up? We're sick of it.
Iannotti was also found guilty of stalking back in 2003. He's facing a long list of charges, including larceny and felony murder. He remains in police custody and will be back in court on August 30th. A man was arraigned this afternoon on charges in the violent death of his girlfriend. 39-year-old Michael Rosenman is charged with manslaughter with a motor vehicle and reckless driving causing death. It was last month that 27-year-old Julie Williamson, a mother of two, died after she was run over and left lying naked in the front yard of her Mount Clemens home. Rosenman remains jailed under a $300,000 bond. First at 4, we are on top of stories making headlines around the world. About 40,000 homes in Louisiana are being impacted by a historic flood that killed at least 8 people. More than 20,000 people have been displaced from their homes and 11,000 are now staying in shelters. Their stay may be prolonged because the flood might be spreading. Water from Louisiana has started spilling over into neighboring states, and now Texas is on high alert for floods there as well. In Syria, 19 people are dead and several more injured after airstrikes in one of the country's major cities. The attacks were carried out by Russian bombers who deployed the strikes from a base in Iran. The airstrikes targeted areas belonging to ISIS and other Islamic terrorist groups. This is the second time this week airstrikes have hit the city of Aleppo as the country tries to fight off rebels attempting to overtake that city. The last tower of the iconic Riviera Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas was knocked down last night. The demolition project brought down the city's first high-rise and one of Vegas's most famous casinos. Before being demolished, the casino made appearances in a lot of movies, including Ocean's 11 and the new Jason Bourne film. And now the land is expected to be used to expand the Las Vegas Convention Center there. In Texas, we have the first travel-associated Zika case within the U.S. This happened when a man from El Paso traveled to South Florida, where he was bitten by a mosquito carrying the Zika virus. When he returned to Texas, a blood test confirmed he indeed had the virus. Luckily, the man is in good health and is no longer considered infectious, but still, health officials are urging travelers to wear bug spray and avoid Zika-affected areas. Presidential campaigns are heading back to the Great Lakes this week, with Hillary Clinton in Ohio and Donald Trump returning to Michigan. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump has scheduled a rally for this Friday near Lansing. Trump is scheduled to speak at 2 p.m. Friday at the Summit Sports and Ice Complex. Doors will open for the event at 11 o'clock in the morning. And meanwhile, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton will be in Cleveland tomorrow. She'll headline a rally at a high school there, where she's expected to focus on economic issues and the differences between her policies and those of Donald Trump. Next here on First at 4 are 2 competitors from Michigan in the Olympics coming up. We'll tell you which swimmer competed today in Rio with a lot of support and cheers from right here at home. But first, she's a boxer from a city in Michigan that is always in the headlines, and now she's gearing up for gold in Rio. We'll have her story when we come back.
Perfect.
Well, when Clarissa Shields enters the boxing ring at the Rio Olympics, she'll have the entire country behind her. But most importantly to her, she'll also have the city of Flint. Shields, a Flint native, is one of 2 American women boxing in the Olympics for the U.S. The other, Michaela Mayer, is a 26-year-old from Los Angeles. Both girls exude confidence, but Shields, who is going for her 2nd straight gold medal, is confident that she's the one to beat.
Yeah, worse comes to worse. Somebody's going down, but it's not me.
Okay, well, Shields, who earned the #1 seed for the Olympics, will have her first fight tomorrow at 1:30 live on NBC Sports. Another athlete from Michigan is also discovering his Olympic dreams. Sean Ryan, a swimmer from the University of Michigan, competed today in a 10K swim in Rio, where he placed 14th. Our Steve Garagiola takes us inside a watch party for him.
Sean Ryan has his immediate family with him in Rio for support, but just in case that's not enough, he's got a lot of positive vibes coming at him from Northville today. Sean Ryan swam on the 10K marathon this morning, 6.2 miles in open water. Not too many rules. Swimmers battle the ocean and each other. This group of friends and neighbors gathered at 8 a.m. to watch the 2-hour race, and they hung on to every minute. The 10K is not a great spectator sport, mostly because you can hardly tell who you're watching. But who cares? Everybody in this crowd is rooting for the same guy.
We have a lot of fans here today, so So Sean's in 12th place right now.
Into the second hour of racing, more family friends arrive. Good thing there are provisions here. This is a long race, and the fans are getting excited. Yes, I know, it's a very close race. Just before 10 a.m., they have reached the finish. When the scorers and judges finally sort out the finishers, former Michigan Wolverine Sean Ryan placed 14th. No, he won't come home with a medal, but that really doesn't matter.
Sean didn't win a medal, but we're just so proud of him. It's been really exciting watching him.
Yes, it was. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
How do you even tell which one was him with all of that?
You go from Usain Bolt taking 10 seconds to this taking 2 hours.
I know, a little bit different, but a lot of support. All right, well, it is day 11 of competition in Rio. Let's take a look at what Americans will be competing today in prime time. Tonight, you can watch Simone Biles as she looks to win her 5th medal of this Olympics. This time in the women's floor exercise. Also today, the U.S. women's basketball team plays Japan at 5:45. In beach volleyball, the U.S. takes on Brazil in the semifinals tonight. And then, of course, plenty of track and field events today as well. And don't forget to join us later tonight for the Olympic Zone. That's every night of the Olympics, Monday through Saturday at 7:30 p.m. We'll highlight local Olympians and the big events of the day right here on Local 4. It's been great so far. All right, so thanks for being with us for First at 4. Right here on ClickOnDetroit.com. We hope you'll join us again for Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
Don't forget Local 4 News and weather powered up 24 hours a day right here on ClickOnDetroit.com.